kind of tea do you want?
There's more than one kind?
We have blueberry, raspberry, ginseng, sleepy time, green tea with lemon and honey, liver disaster, ginger with honey, ginger without honey, vanilla almond, white truffle, blueberry chamomile, vanilla walnut, constant comment, and Earl Grey.
Did you make some of those up?
I think I'll have sleepy time.
That sounds good to me.
So today we're not going to talk to you guys just about all the different types of tea that there are, because clearly there's a ton, but more importantly we're going to talk about what was actually going on. The custom and the tradition of drinking tea with others. We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about how this implies nonverbal communication, and that's why we'd like to present to you today what we call nonverbal tea please. So there are three things we're going to really need to talk about today.
The first thing we're going to go through are the origins of tea and where it came from.
We're going to take you on a 5-minute trip around the world, showing you how tea is drinking in different places. And then we're going to wrap it up by showing you guys two other objects, just like tea, which imply nonverbal communication. So Alex, get us started.
So it first started off with tea in 2737 BC, where it was introduced by the Emperor of China, where it was used as a healing and medicine process, where it slowly made its way to Japan, where it became more of a religious practice. It wasn't until the 17th century that it actually made its way over to Europe and England as we know it.
Which then obviously became a tradition. England is really popular and known for their tea. Actually, they have what we call high tea, which sounds super fancy, but it's just formal tea, usually taken on a Sunday evening after dinner. But basically, we see that tea has become such a huge tradition over there, and obviously, according to our history books, we knew how much that meant to them. But now we want to show you guys just a little bit, just to fact drop on you here, just to get you guys to know basically why you should care about tea. So there's 3 billion cups of tea consumed daily around the world.
I thought I drank a lot. Well, usually 5 out of 6 people claim to be tea drinkers in America or around the world.
And it's said by doctors that 4 cups a day is what needs to be consumed to achieve the most benefits from tea. And actually, in a study done in 2012, by Liv and Shen. It was a comparative study of tea customs. They basically said that it takes, that there's 300 chemical compounds inside a cup of tea that are beneficial to human health, which definitely means that we should be drinking some more of it.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so now basically we're going to take you into why all this matters, and obviously if there's 3 billion cups being consumed around the world, how are they drinking it around the world? Because we know everything's a little bit different other than America. So we're going to take you guys on a little trip. Get us started, we're going to start where it began, the traditional part, England.
In England, they actually never carry their cup without a saucer. There's usually no rules about pouring tea or sugar into your drink, as so. And usually they always place the handle of their spoon like so, the exact way where the handle is right here, to show politeness as well as respect, and also that you know what you are doing when you are drinking tea with your company.
Alright, and now we're going to take you over to Turkey. Basically, with Turkey, they only allow sugar. So no milk, no cream, you got to take your tea with just a little sugar, and that's it. Sorry.
In Germany, they actually don't allow you to stir your tea. They want you to keep your spoon in a cup to signal that you're finished, but also they like to see that you are showing that you aren't stirring the tea whatsoever, because it keeps it more fresh and stays in layers.
Yeah, they actually have a layered tea that includes rock sugar at the bottom, the tea in the middle, a layer of milk, and a layer of cream. So that's why they don't want you to stir it. They want you to taste it all up, right? Now we're going to take you over to Japan. Basically with Japan, it's that you must drink it first in its purest form, meaning you can't have anything in it. Go ahead to, add your sugar, add your milk, add whatever you like to it
afterwards,
after the fact.
yeah.
Yes.
But do not try to drink it first while in front of a guest in Japan.
It's considered rude.
And then we're going to hop over to India, where actually when somebody offers you tea, you are to decline the offer first, and then accept after only they insist.
Alex, you must drink my tea. All right, now we're going to take you over to China, which is pretty kind of cool little custom that I want to pick up myself. You are supposed to, in order to thank a waiter or to say thank you to anyone, is to take an index and a middle finger and tap on the table twice. This is actually symbolic of a repeated bow. And actually what you're supposed to do first is make sure you serve everybody instead of yourself, which sort of seems like we do that here too.
Completely polite, I'd say.
Yes, definitely.
Argentina is actually kind of similar to Germany as we have it. The only thing that they really are annoyed about is you're really not supposed to stir the tea leaves that they have settled on the top, or else they're gonna probably think that you're a little crazy because they like to, like Germany, they also place their spoon into the cup when they're finished and just don't want you stirring the tea.
Yeah, it's like a straw pretty much over with these dry little leaves. It's kind of funky looking. And finally, we're going to talk about Morocco, where basically, if you're talking business to business with someone and you're drinking your tea, you can't talk business until your teacup is empty.
You're not going to get no business.
No, no business will happen there. Alrighty. So, what about America, Alex?
Honestly, America literally says whatever forever. They're a mixture of all of these different things. Most people really don't care when they're drinking tea. They don't really think about any of these other customs, really. A big popular thing for America tea drinking is really tea, sugar, and honey is about it, really. There's no really proper customs of drinking tea in America, so that's just how we do it. I guess we just kind of grab all of these different customs from all around the world and just kind of make it our own.
Yeah, and to add on to that, that same study that we mentioned earlier by Liv and Shen, they also mentioned that America pretty much only drinks iced tea. It could be that most of our tea comes from Argentina and China just because we don't produce it, but for the most part, we pretty much like our tea cool. So why should you care about this, and why does this even matter?
Well, there are actually a couple important points.
We want to talk about two things right now. Hello, your cell phone, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, you know when it's appropriate to talk on the phone and when it's not.
Stop it. Sorry.
Case point one. Basically, what we're trying to show you here is that you communicate non-verbally with a cell phone every single day. You will not whip out your phone in front of Professor Thomas.
Gma, Professor Thomas, anybody.
And you will not whip it out in the middle of a movie theater. You will not whip it out, maybe you will whip it out with your friends.
She's getting judged.
Right now.
Hardcore.
But the case point is that whether you know it or not, you're communicating non-verbally with your cell phone, whether you keep it in your pocket or whether you pull it out in the middle of the movie theater. Hopefully you put it away when you're talking to your grandma.
Hopefully.
But it doesn't just apply to drinking tea in front of someone or talking on your cell phone. What it really comes down to, and one of the big things that we're actually practicing right now, is how you dress. So, let's say you're coming into our lovely speech and communications class on Wednesday, and you sit down looking like Miley. Probably not sending the best message to Professor Thomas. Yeah? What would be a little bit more appropriate would obviously something that we're wearing, you know, something a little bit more conservative. But basically, you're coming down to one big thing here, and this is wrapping up almost everything that we just said. First impressions. It's such a huge deal, honestly. I don't know how to push this enough, but the way that you dress, the way that you talk on your cell phone.
Almost the most nonverbal things that we do every single day.
Apply to what we were just talking about with the tea. When you go to Germany and you take your spoon and you mix up all their wonderful layers of rock sugar and tea.
Can't believe it.
It's deemed inappropriate. So when you're going into the workforce or whatever it is that you guys plan to do in your future, knowing these things and knowing the customs and the traditions will not only set you ahead of everyone else in the room, but it will seriously send off a message that you are not only aware of their traditions and customs,
but respect them.
Exactly. So we want you guys to come away with one big message today. That tea is more than boiled leaves. It's a form of nonverbal communication. Thank you.